When I participated in MasterChef All-Stars, we had to do intense recipes and, of course, with very little time. So today I'm going to show you a recipe that I did on the show, and instead of using quail, I'm going to be using duck. So this is my lentil vinaigrette with seared duck breast and a chestnut crumble. It is delicious. And, of course, I did it in 1 hour, so, you know, if you're organised, you could probably do it too. To start with, let's get some duck breast here. I've got 4 duck breast. We'll just line them up and just with some paper toweling, we're going to pat that skin. Even better when you're using duck like this, the day before I would put it in a tray into the fridge, not covered, and that'll also help dry out that skin really well. So after we've dried that off, we want to score the skin, and we want to make sure we don't go down too far into the flesh. We just want to get the fat on the top. So 3 or 4 scores on each. So for a little spice rub, this is my 4 spice. I love these flavours. I've got a little bit of cinnamon and some white pepper, nutmeg and clove. So it's very French, very classic. So we'll just mix those together along with a good pinch of salt, and just with a zester, we're going to zest 1 orange. So straight into that bowl. Now I don't want to put too much of this spice rub on the skin. See, it's beautiful and white now, and I want that to go golden brown. You can see obviously our rub here is a darker colour, so if that cooks it might look burnt. So what I like to do is flip them over and do most of this rub on the flesh side. So using all of it, be generous and give that a really good rub. All right, let's turn that over now. Just like so, and I may just season that just a little bit more on that skin just to help that get quite crispy. So no oil required. We're going to pop them in, skin side down. Beautiful. So I'm going to give that around 2 to 3 minutes on that side, keeping an eye on it. Once we've got some colour, I'm going to finish cooking them in the oven. So lentils, I love lentils. They're very easy to cook, and what I've done is just pre-cook some lentils here. These are French puy lentils, and I love these. They're quite small, as you can see here. And what I've done, I've just put a carrot in there, an onion, a bay leaf, and then just cooked it with some chicken stock. You want them to be cooked until they're just al dente. I still want them to hold their shape. I'll have a taste. See, they're just a little bit firm, okay, which is what you want for this. So for our vinaigrette, we'll just get a medium bowl here, and I've got a teaspoon of Dijon mustard. With a little bit of vinegar, you could use red wine vinegar, apple cider vinegar, whatever you've got's fine. Even balsamic works well. So we want a good amount in there, you know, about a tablespoon. And we'll start emulsifying that with some good quality extra virgin olive oil. I just use a whisk, it's just much easier for it to all come together. We just want enough vinaigrette just to coat those lentils just lightly. We don't want it to be swimming in that vinaigrette. All right, looking good. Let's go back to our duck here. See how the skin's looking? Beautiful. So let's turn them over now, just like so. And for me, that fat is like liquid gold. I'd save that, and when I've got some potatoes that I'd like to roast, duck fat, potatoes, oh, match made in heaven. Not food that you have all the time, but when you've got a beautiful roast on a Sunday, it works perfectly. So we're going to put them into our little tray here. All right, into the oven, 200 degrees, and they're only going to take around 7 minutes. I like mine to be medium rare inside, and then of course, like any other meat, we'll have to rest it. So while that's in the oven, we'll get onto the crumb, or the crumble like I like to call it. Chestnuts, very interesting. They're fantastic between autumn and winter. And if you haven't seen them before, well, this is what they look like, and I love them. They've got that beautiful sweetness to them. What I like to do to prep them is just put them in some water and bring them to the boil just to soften them slightly. And then, using a serrated knife, just cut across in to the outer shell, just like this. And then we bake them in the oven for about 5–10 minutes, and you'll see this will actually start to peel back. Once that's happened, you just peel it off while they're still warm. That's very important, while they're warm. And this is what you get. They're beautiful. They're actually quite nice, just simply roasted with a little bit of salt. They're so good. So they're ready to go. Also, you can buy these in a can or you can buy them already peeled. So look out for them. And if you haven't tried them before, give it a go. Okay, so I've got some pancetta here also, and I'll just dice that. And we're going to pop that into the pan here. We want it to go really crispy, so continually toss it in there. No oil required. Of course, there's a little bit of fat there, so we're just going to continually toss that. And there's around 100 grams there if you're wanting quantities. So I've got some toasted brioche here, and what I'm going to do is just simply slice 3 pieces into cubes just to help when I start to blitz this up. I've got my all-in-one here, and we're just going to pop the chestnuts, so leave them whole because they'll crumble quite easily, along with our toasted brioche that's cooled down a little bit. And this pancetta is ready, and we just want to drain off any of that fat because that's going to make the crumble quite soggy. So just drain that, and in it goes. So we'll put the lid on. And we just want to pulse this. You'll see straight away it's all going to come together. All right, look at this. So this is, of course, flavour. You've got the saltiness, you've got the sweetness from the brioche and, of course, the chestnuts there. Let's put this to the side and we'll go back to our lentils now just to finish them off. So our vinaigrette, I want to add some herbs to this. So I've got some chervil, so soft herbs work really well. And we're just going to finely slice, you know, about half a bunch along with some chives just to give it that subtle onion flavour there. It's quite a lot, but it is one of those herby vinaigrettes that sort of will carry and sort of make a lentil into something quite special. And our lentils, and we're just going to spoon them in. They're still warm. You don't want them to be freezing cold, but you don't want them to be piping hot because what will happen, they'll start to cook those beautiful herbs that we've just added. And I'm just going to give that a mix, just fold that through. Look at the colours, it looks so good. All right, so that's our prep done. We've got the crumbs done, lentils done. We're going to finish off cooking that duck, take it out of the oven, allow it to rest. I'm going to show you how I love to present this. So the duck has rested now. We can start slicing it up and just on an angle like so. Beautifully pink inside. It's ready to go. And then you can plate it however you like, but for me, beautiful blue plate like this, we're going to put the lentils from one side and on with the duck, just like so. And of course the crumble. So this, we want to be quite generous with it. We're just going to go straight over, just like that. So yeah, it's a little bit fancy, but you think about it, all the elements there, they're all easy to do. We're cooking duck, we've got lentils, that can be done ahead of time. The crumble can be done ahead of time also. And of course, garnish is very important. So we've got the chervil, and I just like to simply put that just on the top. Very, very delicious. Beautiful flavours together, and that crumble just makes it a little bit special, especially with those chestnuts in there.